With the national championship now over, boys, it's time for us to start looking at our national championship and how we're going to build a dynasty in EA college football.
My trainer, he told me, he said, what did he say? He just told us to be prepared.
And to do that, boys, we have to start identifying what top players and what top teams are we going to go with this season. Without further ado, let's just dive right in. At number 5, boys, we got DJ Uiagalelei. I promise you by the end of next season, I will know how to pronounce his name. I am struggling to pronounce DJ Uiagalelei's name. I don't know why. It's a tough name, but dude's a dog. If you're a football nerd like me, boys, you probably saw the QB1 series on Netflix and saw how DJ Uiagalelei was a backup to Iman Mitchell back during the days at St. John Bosco, a perennial powerhouse and usually a national championship in high school football. So, however, boys, Iman Mitchell in that series was an Elite 11 quarterback, and DJ Uiagalelei came in as a sophomore and replaced an Elite 11 quarterback. And for those that don't know, boys, Elite 11 quarterbacks are the top quarterbacks in the country that get to go to a prestigious football camp coming into their senior year. Needless to say, boys, when he came into college, he was probably one of the most hyped quarterbacks in his class. However, he didn't get off to the hottest start in college. He went to Clemson, got recruited, fell in love with Dabo Swinney and what they were building, and eventually something went down in Clemson. I don't know what it is. Can anyone tell me what's going on in Death Valley that all of a sudden Clemson's not as good? I thought Dabo was building a dynasty over there, but now it looks like it's going to be Kirby Smart at Georgia. Curious to see what's going on over there. It seemed like when Deshaun Watson went down, Dabo Swinney went down. Weird, right? I don't know what it is, but it's the way it happened. So then he went to Oregon State, right? He had a pretty decent season. It wasn't nothing crazy, but now he gets a chance at FSU, boys, with Mike Norvell, who's probably one of the best college coaches right now in the game. I think now with the quarterback, they're ready to reload and really attack this, and they definitely feel like they can lock in the ACC and have a chance at the college football playoff and make a run for the national championship, which they feel they got screwed out of. And to be completely honest with you, I was so for Alabama being in. I knew FSU wasn't going to do that great of a job. It's sad, but they weren't a top 4 team without Jordan Travis. Maybe they're backup, but it was going to be tough for them. So that is why I'm super excited to be playing with DJ Uiagalelei next year and FSU. It's probably going to be a top team I'm going to play with head-to-head, but definitely someone I'm going to build a dynasty right away, try to win the Natty in season 1. Number 4, boys. It's my USC dog, Zachariah Branch, the speedster. Boys, plain and simple. Dude is so fast, and with Miller, Moss, Austin, and Bombs, I think he might be one of the best college football players next year. He might have that Tavon Austin type season if for those that played back in the day. Geno Smith and Tavon Austin were unstoppable with the Yellow Unis at West Virginia. Dude is electric. He can return kicks. He can play the slot. He can take jet sweeps. Dude, honestly, if they incorporated like a Deebo Samuel playbook for Zachariah Branch, that would be super realistic, and I cannot wait to play with him next season. Also, boys, any man that drops the when they freaking score is going on my list, boys. For those that don't know me, I love me some CR7. So the fact that Zachariah Branch drops the Sue every time he scores, it honestly brings my whole world together. I don't know what it is. Cristiano Ronaldo's the reason I wore 7 in football, and the fact that, I don't know, there's just a lot there. Zachariah Branch, number 4. All I'm saying is, my man's better have 99 speed. Number 3, this man had to be on the list. I think everyone's expecting this man to be on the list. This is one of the people everyone's going to play with on the game. My boy Travis Hunter. The dog. The guy that's going to change the game forever. He's going to bring that Shohei Ohtani pitching and hitting vibe to EA college football. The fact that you can open the door now. This has opened the door for two-way players in EA college football. Travis Hunter has literally changed not only the real college football, but EA college football as well. I cannot wait to play with this man. Pound for pound, the best athlete in the country. We saw him show out last year. He's a big streamer too, so go ahead and give his show a follow. He's probably going to top 10 pick. He might be the first guy drafted as an athlete, which it's probably going to be a cornerback, but it would be really cool to see them just put athlete next to his name and not designate him a position. That, with the added hype around Colorado and Boulder and coming into season 2 with Deion Sanders, this was probably one of the easiest choices I made for this list. Number 2, sorry about that, boys, but the next one is also another Colorado man, and this man made showing your wrist an absolute iconic movement. Is that dude Shedeur Sanders? I don't know about y'all guys, but the first 4 weeks of college football this year, if you guys watch football like I did, That was probably the most electric 4 weeks of college football. I did not miss a Buffalo snap until I really realized that they were probably not going to be beating a lot of the teams after the first 4 or 5 weeks. But I know they were only like a year or two away, with a couple recruiting classes and a couple transfer portals away, to having a really good football team.
I'm flat out coming.
Pause.
However, this next season, expect Shador and the Colorado Buffalo team to be probably the most used team, not only in Dynasty Mode, but in online head-to-head. Finally, boys, before I give you my number 1, let me tell you about guys that just missed my list and I'm kind of excited about next season. First honorable mention, Tyler Van Dyke, Wisconsin. I mean, I only live a few miles from Camp Randall, so this one's on the list for legal reasons. So I'm really hoping Tyler Van Dyke and Luke Fickell have a great season next year with that air raid offense he's bringing to town. Another honorable mention is a guy you probably have never heard of. He's uncommitted to a college. He's actually a senior in high school this year, but his name is Caleb Sanchez. Currently, he's a high school quarterback with a Salvadorian background. He's a 3-star quarterback with tons of potential, boys. He just wrapped up his senior season at St. John Bosco. So needless to say that I'm really excited to kick some ass on EA College Football with a Hispanic quarterback. I'm not gonna lie.
Viva la raza!
Another one, boys. Quinn Ewers, Texas. They're constantly improving. Sark's finally might have his team next season. He lost a couple wide receivers, but dude, Quinn Ewers seems to not go away. He got in better shape, so he needs to be on the list. He needs to get at least an honorable mention just on his work ethic alone. Texas is going to be a really fun team to play with. I think Matthew McConaughey and the excitement around the Austin team is huge right now. So I can't wait to get back and play with Texas and some burnt orange unis. Hook 'em. Another one is Jalen Milroe. And listen, I know Buddy didn't have the greatest college football game there at the Rose Bowl, but the fact that Tommy Rees took him from the beginning of the season to what he was now, I think speaks volumes of his work ethic and how athletic he can be. The fact that Bill O'Brien told him he shouldn't be playing quarterback is probably one of the worst things I ever heard, because it probably would have been the same guy to tell Tim Tebow not to play quarterback in college, and look at him, probably arguably the greatest college football player of all time. So Bill O'Brien can go suck one.
Got him!
Yeah, Jalen Milroe's game is probably not going to translate great to the NFL, but dude's an athlete, and for EA college football purposes, he's going to be an absolute dog. Not going to lie, Nick Saban retiring a little bit kind of stung a little bit, takes a little bit of the hype away. Hopefully Kalen DeBoer, I hope I'm saying that right, because it's going to be a big name in college football next year. Hopefully he can continue the success that Nick Saban has created there in Tuscaloosa, but we'll see about that. He does bring his OC with him, and with the thing they did with Michael Penix, if they could emulate that with Jalen Milroe, I think he would have a great college football season, and it could be a Heisman early candidate. And another one that I recently just added, because the news just came out recently, is Cam Ward, Miami. The guy who bamboozled everyone, who said he was going to go to the NFL. Now Buddy's potentially going to have a Heisman-type season, and for those that don't know, Miami has slowly been cooking up something down there. Cristobal has had 2 really good recruiting classes prior to this offseason. So he's really cooking up something. Those first guys he recruited are going to be now juniors if they didn't redshirt, and they could really be good coming up to this season. They were pretty decent last year. Tyler Van Dyke didn't have the greatest year, but Cam Ward now could really take them to the next level. And if I was a betting man, which Wisconsin doesn't have a sports book you can legally bet on, I would be putting in my vote for Cam Ward as an early Heisman favorite, because 5 of the last 6 or something like that have been transfers. So, I mean, come on, man. And before I reveal my last dog, if you enjoyed the video thus far, smash that like button, boys, and subscribe to the channel if you want to follow along for more EA College Football news and notes and EA College Football gameplay when the game actually releases. I'll be making a lot of Road to Glory content, a lot of Dynasty content, and a lot of rebuilds. That's kind of the goal for the channel long term, but for right now, if you're like me, you probably don't have a PC to play college football revamped, so I'm stuck making these kinds of videos just to build the hype around the game and build the hype around the channel. So boys, feel free to give your boy a subscribe, and I promise you won't be let down for the gameplay. But now that said, boys, number 1 player that I'm most hyped about for EA College Football next year. It's a guy that doesn't even start. But if the room doesn't give it away, and if you haven't guessed it by now, I even mentioned one of his teammates. And if you still don't know who I'm talking about, you probably live under a rock, honestly, and you watched no sort of college football news last season. That man is Arch Manning. My boy! On a completely personal note, I am a huge Colts fan. Don't ask me how I became a Colts fan. It doesn't matter. It's pretty simple. The guy back there is the reason I am a Colts fan. LA didn't have a team where I was born, so yeah. Followed the guy that I like the most, this guy back there. The fact is, though, that his nephew is an absolute athlete. In For those that don't know the Mannings, Cooper Manning is his dad, who was probably the most athletic of the Mannings and was going to play wide receiver at Ole Miss. Goes to speak on the athleticism of his dad. So the fact that Coop had a son that now plays quarterback, and he's wearing 16, like his uncle did in college, is just in another orange jersey. Like, come on, man. Like, bruv, this is me. Like, this is the guy that I will vow that as soon as that game releases, I will turn it on and I will go straight into online head-to-head, and I am going to make Arch Manning, sorry, Quinn Ewers, the starter, and I am going to destroy somebody, throwing for at least 400 and 5 tuds. Just saying. Boys, I cannot wait for this game. July cannot come soon enough. I hope EA starts releasing some videos here shortly. But finally, boys, in the comments down below, let me know who you think I might have missed in this video. I am no Kirk Herbstreit. I'm not a Joel Klatt. But I think I hit on most of the exciting dynamic players. But boys, let me know of some low-key players that you might be thinking about. I'll give you guys one. Malachi Nelson. He was the backup to Caleb Williams at USC. But guess what? Dude decided to transfer to Boise, who's building an absolute stacked roster. Which is actually kind of exciting because then we're going to get to see the Blue Field more next season if they're good. That's a team that I'm looking forward to playing. That might be a more low-key team that could be kind of good in the game. And boys, if you're looking for the top 5 things we know about EA College Football, or my wish list for the game when it comes out, click these videos right here to learn more. And boys, remember, nice guys finish first, and God bless. Peace. See!